The more John thought about the dream, the more he was convinced it was something more. It wasn't just a dream, but a memory that was resurfacing. It simply felt too real. This was the fourth night in a row that he had woken up early with the dream so vivid in his mind. Each time he dreamed it, more details became clear. The colors, people's faces, his own reactions, all of it gradually coming into focus, like fog dissipating in the morning sun. John began looking forward to going to sleep so that he could see the dream events one more time. Maybe this would be the night he'd figure out why he was having the dream. John was staring at the whirling vortex in front of him. As he moved closer, the memory sharpened, and he knew that when he stepped through, he would find himself in the future, about 120 years in the future to be exact. He eagerly approached and stepped into the vortex, not fearing it now as he had the first time. Everyone was at the gathering: his business partner Laura and her husband, their families, friends, and colleagues. John looked at his wife Lichelle, standing across the room talking with Dr. Mann, foremost climatologist in 2141. They were fortunate to have Dr. Mann's expertise on climate change. It was his grandfather's grandfather, Michael Mann, professor of atmospheric science at Penn State, who'd suffered such indignities and slander when he spoke out for climate change initiatives. John had met him and passed on key information from his descendant in the hopes that this last-ditch effort could literally save the planet. Lichelle caught his eye, smiled, and beckoned him over. She caught his hands and hugged him tightly. When she tilted her head back, her eyes were sparkling with joyful tears. Her 100-watt smile practically lit up the room, and John was dazzled once again. How could he have forgotten this woman? Even in a fully immersive experience, he should have been able to remember this wonderful woman. Dr. Mann laughed and shook John's hand with enthusiasm. When Lichelle spoke, her excitement was contagious.
Just a little while longer, darling, and you'll be home for good. Our future will be secured. You're doing a wonderful job. We've already seen a 70% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. It's working, and we're all so proud of you.
John's brow cleared. Yes, I remember everything now. How long have I been in the past? What's today's date? Dr. Mann replied. February 2022. Why? John asked. Well, let's see. We placed you in the time stream mid-1999. My great-grandfather had already begun working on the research material for the Observed Climate Variability and Change chapter for the IPCC report that would win a Nobel Peace Prize. So that means you've been there about 23 years in transtemporal terms, of course. To us, you've been gone momentarily. So why have I been dreaming the past few nights? Why have I been remembering? John was anxious to hear the answer. Because it's time to pull you back, John. Your work's done and it's time to come home. We needed to let you know gradually, so you'd have a chance to finish up and, well, you know, make your farewells as discreetly as possible. Do you understand? You have one more week to wrap up your work and any personal matters. Once you return through the vortex for the last time, no one will remember you from the past. He stopped, struggled to contain himself, and then spoke in an emotion-filled voice. But know this, John. History will never forget your outstanding contribution to saving the planet Earth. Never.